They didn't move too bad last time.
First round is.
Welcome back, everybody. Chris Kidd here with you. Butch Mounts, our engineer, here on Video Productions for our second game of the afternoon as Chapmanville knocked off Gilbert in the B team bracket 20-6 earlier. And now we are in the C team bracket. These are the youngest kids, again about the 6 and 7 year olds. And it is a 3-6 matchup between Danville and Gilbert, as the winner of this game will take on Sherman next week in the semifinals. And looks like they need a volunteer for the chain gang over on the far side, as they've got the first down markers there, but I don't think they have a spotter as of yet. And as of right now, we don't have a Gilbert C team roster. Again, the press box trying to get one for us as we move along. So if we're not able to call any of the Gilbert players out right away, hopefully we'll be able to as this broadcast moves along, as we do have a roster for Danville, thankfully. But we'll see if we can get one for Gilbert as we move along. So looks like maybe they've gotten a poor soul to go over there and be part of the chain gang. So the officials and everybody ready to go, but we didn't quite have enough people over to help out. This is normally whenever you're a parent, you just start scattering and running and praying nobody sees you. It's the same thing whenever somebody says we need help in the concession stand area. But again, these are all winner-go-home games today, as the playoffs began last night, have continued so far today. Again, the officials still looking. And now we've got a man on the run coming over towards us. And now we've got a volunteer. Good on that young man. Thank you. So now we can begin play, as Danville will possess the ball first. Here on first down, they'll keep it to the near side. Belcher cups up field, gets away from a couple men, and now he's into the clear. Here goes Riker Belcher on the first play from scrimmage, and Danville breaks open to a 6-0 lead. And he's been doing that all season long for the Danville Hawks, and why not on the first play of the playoffs, as he makes a big statement right away to give Danville a 6-0 lead just 15 seconds into the contest. You kind of figured Danville's going to be the favored team coming into this game. Just the season they've had and the athletes they've got on that side. If Gilbert wants to hang around, they've got to find a way to slow down this rushing attack of Danville. That's been so tough to slow down all year long, especially in their B and C team games. Again, their B and C team rushing attack for Danville has been lights out. So they'll line up to go for two. They'll hand it off, coming left side, getting a nice block, and scooting into the end zone is Ratliff, and Danville leads it 8-0 in the blink of an eye to start this game. We'll step aside and be back right after this, as you are watching Youth League football action right here on Video Productions. Well, Gilbert, after getting struck by a lightning bolt right away in this game with the touchdown run by Riker Belcher from 60 yards out, now Gilbert will get their first offensive possession. And as we said, we don't have a roster for Gilbert's C team. So they'll hand it off near side. Nice little gap on the left side, but Danville closes it up quick. It's coming over there. Look like Dawson Atkins in on the tackle, as well as number 42, Cole Lovejoy. They shut that down for a gain of 3. Now, if you do see some of the adults and coaches on the field, like you see in our shot right now, again, they are allowed to be on the field in C-team activity. Again, you're talking about 5-, 6-, and 7-year-olds out there playing. Again, this is likely most of their first time playing, second time playing. So they're out there for safety precautions, trying to make sure everybody's lined up correctly. They know where to go, what to do. Again, I was in high school and still didn't know where to go and what to do. So needless to say, 5-, 6-, and 7-year-olds, you know, I was probably at that level even as a 15, 16, 17-year-old. So it's good that they have them out there just to try and make sure everything goes okay and everybody's where they need to be. It's on 2nd and 7. They'll snap it back, rushing to the far side. This could be dangerous as Danville pursuing, able to get away though, and back to the line of scrimmage and for a gain of 1. Boy, that looked like that could have been a big loss on the play, but instead it's a gain of 1. And now do we have a flag down? There's one official signaling 3rd down, but thought we might add a flag for a moment, but instead they pick it up. So it'll be 3rd down and 6 now for Gilbert. They try to answer the quick score by Danville. Again, just one play and 15 seconds in, they take the lead. Gilbert gets lined up here, again talking to their coaches, and they don't really keep a play clock either in youth league football unless it's just an astronomical amount of time that they've taken. They're not going to call it delay of game. So give it off on the left side. Nice little hole again as Gilbert able to make some hay out to about the 48-yard line. But that'll bring up 4th down and a long 2, short 3, whichever you want to call it. Gilbert will have to go for it here. And now we do have a young man just brought us a roster. We appreciate that for Gilbert. So it'll be 4th down and 3 as Braden Meadows, the quarterback for the Pride. It's the first down that Gilbert desperately needs. They give it off, and nothing there as Danville shuts it down as Sawyer Bryant got the handoff and then saw nothing but yellow jerseys after that. As Gilbert unable to pick up the first down, and Danville takes over with 5:05 to go in the first quarter, already leading at 8-0. So this is a situation, if you're Gilbert, you've got to keep your heads about you right now. If not, this game could get away from you in a hurry. Belcher brings everyone up to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 47 of Gilbert. And again, you see right down to placing the feet of the lineman where it needs to be. These coaches have got it all covered. So give it off, coming near side, trying to get around the corner is Lovejoy. Stiff arms a man, spin move inside the 40, and what a run by Cole Lovejoy. Boy, that was a violent 9-yard run by that young man. And it'll be 2nd and 1 now for the Hawks. And they have just made an intimidating statement right out of the gate with this rushing attack. Now you see Lovejoy, Ratliff, Belcher along with Atkins huddled up with one of the coaches. Again, those are their key weapons on the offensive side. This offensive line does a tremendous job for this C team as Belcher goes down, gets the handoff, gives it off left side as Atkins had a little bit of a crease, closed up by Gilbert, but not until first down is created, as that'll be a gain of about 3, and that'll move the chains for Danville. As we approach the midway point of the first quarter, it's the referee going to lose his arm trying to get the clock to wind here as they finally recognize it in the press box downstairs. Gilbert offering more resistance after that first play from Belcher. Now he'll keep it. Cuts inside. He's to the 30, trying to get away from man. Wow, somehow fought off that tackler and able to stay on his feet momentarily as he'll pick up close to 8 on that carry. Again, I've seen Riker Belcher after games and stuff. He's about as little as you think he is down on the field too, but man, that kid plays like he's got a King Kong complex. I mean, he just plays much bigger than his size. And he's a tough little kid. Already has a touchdown in his back pocket. Now has that 7-yard gain to make it 2nd and 3. So give it off to Ratliff. He's got some running room, trying to wait on blockers. Cuts upfield now inside the 25 with a first down, and he'll go down close to the 20-yard line. Looks like they'll spot him officially just inside the 21-yard line. But another first down for the Hawks as we head down towards 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. So after the explosive first play touchdown, now Danville on more of a methodical march on this drive. But everything's been positive so far for Danville. Gilbert desperately needs to try and create a negative play here. As Belcher gets low for the snap, hands it off. Here comes Lovejoy to the outside. Lovejoy, now a flag comes in as Lovejoy will take it into the end zone. But let's check on the flag here. And it looks like it could be holding and bring this back. Flag down at the 22-yard line. You see everybody coming back to the line of scrimmage, and it will be a hold against Danville. And they've had that happen quite a bit this year, with touchdowns being called back. And now they're going to mark it all the way back to the 31-yard line, so it'll be the full 10 yards on the penalty. Danville gets lined up here with 2:27 to go in the first quarter. They'll keep it with Belcher. He cuts outside, now back inside, tries to get away. Danville, a good job getting him loose initially, but Gilbert, tremendous job closing up the running lanes there for Belcher. So they're able to contain him for about a 3-yard carry that time. So it'll be second down. They'll call it a gain of 4 officially, so it'll be 2nd and 16. Now the Hawks get to the line of scrimmage. Minute 48 to go in the first. And 3-back set. It's Belcher. Gives it off to Lovejoy. Tries to get outside again. Runs over a man, but lost the ball in the process. And Gilbert's going to cover it up. Boy, Lovejoy delivered a hammer blow, getting out there to try and get himself loose, but lost the ball in the process. And Gilbert has a much-needed turnover with 1:33 left here in the first quarter, as you see it on our instant replay. Right there, just bam! I mean, just ran over a man. But it was such a violent collision that Lovejoy lost control of the ball. And Gilbert now creates the first turnover of the game. Can they try and get some momentum on their side for the first time? It's been all Danville thus far in the first 6.5 minutes of this game. They'll hand it off up the gut. Nice little hole there that opened up initially for Gilbert. That'll be a solid gain on first down of about 4 yards. This ball carrier was Sawyer Bryant. So it'll be second down and about 6 here for the Pride as we at the final minute of the first quarter. So give it off on the right edge. Nothing there as Bryant got wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage. So they're going to say it was a loss of about half a yard on the play, back to the 27-yard line. That's going to make it 3rd and 6. Gilbert will have to snap it at least one more time here in this quarter. This one you'd love to maybe have the end of the quarter to talk about it for a few extra seconds about what you want to do on these next 2 plays. We'll see if Gilbert tries to bleed this clock for all it's worth here as we're down to 17 seconds. Now they come to the line of scrimmage. As Meadows gets under center. They'll keep it with him, it looks like. Pushes forward. And what a surge there by Gilbert as they get close to the first down. And it'll be 4th and 1. Coming up here for the Pride. Out of the 33-yard line. Now they're going to say first down, so big time run there to bring us to the end of the first quarter as Gilbert has it and trying to get on the move here to see if they can tie this game up. We'll be back after this as you're watching Youth League football with us right here on Video Productions. Back to action here. 1st and 10 for Gilbert to open up the second quarter. Nice little push off the left side. They're able to pick up about 3 or 4 more yards. As Bryant, the ball carrier again. And it seems like Gilbert's kind of settled in now after getting punched right in the gut to start this game. It was a one-play 65-yard touchdown run for Belcher. Then they went 4 and out in a heartbeat. Danville was on the move again, had a touchdown call back. And then just 2 plays later, a fumble gave the ball back to Gilbert. And now here they are, 2nd down and 6. So under center goes Meadows. He'll keep it himself to the outside. Under some pressure, gets away from one tackler, but can't get away from the 2nd and 3rd. It's Hunter Maynor able to make the stop. And now it's going to be 3rd down and 8 for Gilbert. So a 3rd and 8 here. They went quarterback sneak on 3rd and 6 in the first quarter and were able to pick up the first down. So let's see what they elect to do here on this 3rd and 8. And you don't see a ton of passing in C-team football. But now Meadows will go under center. He'll keep it coming near side, and he's hit by several Hawks and brought down at about the 37-yard line for a gain of 2. And now it's 4th and 6, so if Gilbert elects to kick it away here, like we said, there is no punting in C-team football, so it would just be a 30-yard flip and field position. And Danville would take over from there. But it looks like Gilbert's going to keep the offense on the field here and try and go for it as we go under 6 minutes left in the first half. The coaches from Gilbert just shoving players out of the huddle one by one here as they learn their assignment. As Meadows will go under center here. He'll roll out. He's under pressure immediately. Gets away from Belcher. Tries to turn up field. He's hit, and he's going to get dropped. Good pursuit by Danville that time. Able to get Meadows to the ground. And with 5:20 to go in the first half, Danville will take over on downs. It's a great defensive stand by the Hawks after the fumble. And they get it right back in prime real estate here. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Belcher and company as they come to the line of scrimmage. They'll run it to the outside. Belcher keeps it. He's to the 35. Trying to get away from Meadows, does so, stays on his feet and backpedals down to about the 30-yard line. It's another good run by Belcher as he'll pick up 7 yards. So it'll be 2nd down and 3 for the Hawks. Again, Danville gets the ball to start the third quarter. So a 2-score lead for Danville would be huge, potentially going into halftime. Ratliff now comes into the fray here as a big stack formation along the right side as Ratliff whispers something to one of his linemen. They'll give it off instead to the outside. Trying to get to the corner is Adkins. Instead he cuts it inside. He's going to be right near the first down marker. I believe he had it from where he was tackled at. It'll depend on the spot. It looks as if it is a first down, and now they do signal first down. He got it by about the length of the football. So Danville will get a new set of downs as we approach the midway point of this second quarter. One of those quarters. I was going to call them all out. Belcher goes under center on 1st and 10. He'll take it himself to the outside. Got a good block. Now he's to the 20, down to the 15. Belcher's going to take it in for the second time today, and Danville has a 2-touchdown lead with 3:44 to go in the second quarter. Man, oh man, he's just a lightning bolt out there whenever he gets into some open space. Just like Crosby Altizer did in the first game for Chapmanville, it's Riker Belcher dominating the action so far here in this game. As Danville was able to convert on their first 2-point attempt, with Ratliff taking it in off the handoff. Danville trying to get everybody situated at the line of scrimmage. Now they'll run it coming near side. A lot of traffic out there, but somehow able to squeeze through it is Lovejoy, and he's into the end zone with a 2-point conversion. It's now a 16-0 lead for the Hawks. We'll step aside for a break and be back after this as you're watching Youth League football. Back here at Scott High School, everyone, as Danville leading Gilbert 16-0 here in this quarterfinal in the C-team division. So we have 3:44 left before halftime. Gilbert will hand it off inside, but once again, another great defensive play. There's nowhere to go for the Pride. It looked like Jackson Osborne there to help trip up the runner. So that'll be no gain officially on the play and make it 2nd down and 10 as Gilbert going more up tempo now. So they'll fake the handoff. Meadows will keep it to the outside, able to get away. Now here he goes into open space. He's out across midfield and a shoestring tackle made at the last second by Lovejoy in order to maybe prevent a touchdown for Gilbert. All right, there's some life that Gilbert desperately needs. They had 1 first down prior to that play. Now they come to the line of scrimmage in Danville territory. Meadows will operate out of the shotgun again. And this is a different look than what they've shown so far today, but the snap's fumbled and wisely just dove on top of by Sawyer Bryant that time in order to prevent further damage. It'll be 2nd down and long now for Gilbert. It'll be a loss of 1 officially as Meadows in the shotgun again. He'll hand it off coming near side, but Danville able to break through and create a loss on the play as Bryant had no time to try and turn the corner. And it'll be 3rd down and 13 here for the Pride as Danville will burn a timeout with 1:58 left in the half trying to get the ball back. We'll be back right after this as you're thanks. Welcome back here on Video Productions as a false start against Gilbert, and now another false start against Gilbert is going to back them up 10 yards and make this much more difficult now as Danville fighting to try and get the ball back with 1:55 to play in the first half. And boy, if Danville get the ball back and get another score on the board, that could really be a tough hill to climb for Gilbert moving forward in this game. Again, right now they're not totally out of it. They get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. They'd love to try and get something into the end zone or on the board here before halftime, but if they allow Danville to get the ball back and they go down and score, that's going to be really difficult for Gilbert to try and overcome, and right there's a good reason why, as Meadows gets tripped up in the backfield and brought down for another loss, and Danville's going to burn their 2nd timeout with 1:45 to go. And now if you're Gilbert, it'll be interesting to see what they do. Again, it's 4th down and more or less Boone County here for the Pride. It's 4th and 25 officially. They could elect to just go ahead and punt and flip field position 30 yards if they wanted to, because I don't really see a situation where 4th and 25 is very viable. But like we said, you never know in youth league football. We've seen, even in the first game, Altizer broke free on a 50-plus yard touchdown run on the last play of the half. So all it takes is one crease, one hole, and a good athlete to break free, and all of a sudden you've got some momentum going in your favor. But at the moment, Danville's defensive line dominating in this series of downs. And if they get the ball here on this side of the 50 and maybe at the 40-yard line, minute 45 will seem like an eternity for them, even with only one timeout. Again, Gilbert with 2 false start penalties on this series of downs too. Meadows gets some final instructions here as they'll run the play on 4th and 25. Meadows tries to get outside. He's going to get sacked. Brought down back at the 35. And guess who? Riker Belcher there for the stop. I told you, he's got King Kong energy. I mean, the kid looks like he's nothing more than 4'2". And I said on paper, says he weighs 50 pounds. That's soaking wet. And the kid absolutely plays like a dynamo whenever he's on the field. So he's just flat out a football player. And now Danville with a golden opportunity to really put the pressure on Gilbert. They already lead at 16-0. And now they have it 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line of Gilbert, as player for Danville has a chin strap fixed. Now the ball's fumbled as Belcher wisely just dives on top of it back at the 38-yard line. And again, it's still raining to a slight degree here. Again, if you were with us in the first game right around kickoff, you just saw a torrential downpour along with huge gust of wind popping up throughout the first quarter of that game before it started to die down a little bit. So this is ideal conditions compared to the first game. And now Belcher gets free again as he cuts inside the 30, right down close to the first down marker. And it appears he's got it, and he does. So a new set of downs now for Danville. They hang on to that final timeout. The coaches trying to get everyone situated as quickly as they can as the clock begins to wind now, under a minute to go in the first half. Danville looking for a 3-score lead going into halftime. Belcher goes under center. Hands it off to Ratliff. He turns the corner. He's got a lot of open space inside the 15. Nice cut by him down to the 10 and pushed out of bounds right around the 5-yard line. Wow, what great patient running by Ratliff. As he got that handoff and just allowed his blockers to do their work. And able to get 20-plus yards on that carry, 21 officially as they mark him down at the 4. And 32 seconds left for Danville and still one timeout. Danville also have one score called back here in this first half. And then a fumble a couple of plays later. So they've been on the move every time they've had the football. Belcher keeps it himself, gets to the outside, cuts back in, but Gilbert waiting on him this time. And he's going to get dropped at the 3-yard line. It's 22 seconds to go, and Danville will burn their final timeout. So we'll be right back after this as you're watching Youth League Football on Video Productions. On 2nd and goal, Belcher keeps it himself, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Danville. And that was a huge moment because Danville, out of timeouts, basically had to get in on that play or have to get up to the line of scrimmage in a hurry. And instead, it's now a 22-0 lead for the Hawks with 17 seconds showing on the clock, as they have just dominated this first half in this winner-go-home game between these two squads. Danville will go for 2 again here. They're 2 of 2 thus far today as Belcher gives it off. Trying to get outside is Adkins, and he'll win the race to the corner, and into the end zone he goes. It's 24-0 now in favor of the Hawks. We'll be back with the conclusion of the first half right after this as you're watching Youth League football on Video Productions. Well, Gilbert now with one final opportunity with 17 seconds showing on the clock. And what has been a difficult first half for them on both sides as Danville's just been lights out. As Meadows tries to get away, he's going to get hit and dropped in the backfield for another big loss, as that will likely run out the first half here from Scott High School as Danville takes a commanding 24-0 lead into intermission. Well, we're going to step aside. Well, I don't know. Hang on just a second. Gilbert called timeout with 1 second left, maybe. Again, I saw some of the Scott coaches holding up one finger. So Gilbert going to try and see if they can spring for something here, even though they've not had much of a chance thus far today on the offensive side. They've had 2 first downs and had a series where they looked like they were starting to get things together along the offensive line, but Danville quickly made the adjustment they needed. That sack was a loss of 10 on the play. So I don't really blame Gilbert in this spot, even though things have been going south throughout much of this first half. Again, if you can maybe get a big play here and someone gets free, you might be able to get into the end zone like they did earlier in this half. But again, the way Danville's defense has been playing, it's going to be tough to see that happening from 70 yards away. But now this will be the final play of the first half, barring a penalty. As Meadows will roll near side with it as the clock expires. He's hit a couple times, and he'll go down for a loss of 2 on the play. And that will do it for the first half as Danville dominates it, leading 24-0 at intermission. We'll step aside for a break, and we'll be back with the start of the second half right after this as you're watching Youth League football playoff action right here on Video Productions. Welcome back, everybody. Chris Kidd with you as Butch Mounts, our engineer and cameraman here today on Video Productions, as we are here for the quarterfinal playoffs of the B, C, and A teams. This is our second of 3 games today, and Chapmanville's B team knocking off Gilbert's B team 20-6 earlier today to advance. And right now, Danville's C team dominating the first half over Gilbert, leading it 24-0. And Gilbert has the ball to start the third quarter. In desperate need of trying to get something going, but now the rain has come back with a vengeance here in the second half as they'll hand it off up the gut. Nice little rush for about 5 yards off the left side. It's a good hole opened up there for Bentley Klein, it looked like. Yeah, this is the kind of steady rain, though, we had in the first half of the first game with Chapmanville and Gilbert. Just minus all the wind. Meadows will hand it off on 2nd down and 5, right up the middle. Not a whole lot there. Gilbert will fall forward for about 2 yards. So that'll make it 3rd down and 3 now for the Pride. And again, our last game of the day coming your way at the conclusion of this contest is Danville's A team will take on Gilbert's A team in another 3 versus 6 matchup to see who moves on to the semifinals in the A team bracket. Again, if you're just joining us, these are the youngest kids, the 5, 6, and 7-year-olds. The 8 and 9-year-olds played already today. And then the 10, 11-year-olds are on the A team side. They'll be up next. This little plunge up the middle on the left side doesn't have a whole lot there as Bryant gets the carry, but now they're going to face a 4th down and 2. And Gilbert will obviously go for it now, trailing at 24-0. The Pride come to the line of scrimmage here. Having 2 first downs in the first half. Desperately needing one here. They'll hand it off. A nice push off the right side. And that will move the chains for Gilbert. It's Bryant on the carry. And that'll get down to the 49-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Gilbert on Danville's side of the 50. Meadows and Bryant, the last 2 to break the huddle. So you have to figure the play is going to go to one of them. You even see the Gilbert coaching staff pointing out who to block. So I'm going to guess this is going to the left side. Nope, they fooled me too. Meadows takes off with it instead on the keeper. And nice play design there for Gilbert. So they'll pick up good yardage down inside the 45 to about the 43. So that'll give you a pickup of about 6 on the play. So 2nd and 4 now for Gilbert. It's 3 minutes gone here in this third quarter. And if you're Gilbert, you're looking for just some positive things right now. Like we said, there just wasn't a whole lot they could do in the first half against this Danville defense, and especially trying to stop Danville's offense, minus the 1 turnover they created. And so far, they've put together a strong drive here. 2nd down and 4 as the coaches talk with the left side of their line. They'll hand it off this time. We're going to go to the left side. Meadows keeps it. He's pushing, trying to break free, still dragging men, and finally goes down inside the 30-yard line. What a strong run by Braden Meadows. So yeah, the quarterback keeper and just continued to churn those legs. And he's got Gilbert down inside the 30-yard line. Is this the deepest penetration Gilbert's had all afternoon long trying to search for their first score today. Now it looks like trying to get a shoe tied down there in the huddle. Tell you what, that's one of the fun things about being a youth league coach. You get to learn how to tie shoes all over again, fix chin straps all over again. You know, I coached middle school tennis for 16 years, and you even got some of that there. So the key word with youth league sports is just always patience. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Pride. At the 29-yard line, Meadows will take the snap. He'll keep it off the left side. Once again getting a good push. And this Gilbert offensive line has come out strong here in this third quarter after Danville dominated the interior most of the first half. Again, Gilbert's had the ball for over 5 minutes on this drive. Danville with a 24-0 lead. They're not going to cry too much about time ticking away right now with this lead. So after the gain of 3, Gilbert comes to the line of scrimmage. Meadows will hand it off up the middle as Bryant gets it inside the 25-yard line for a couple of yards. Actually, I'll say a gain of 1 in total. So it's going to be 3rd down and 5 now for Gilbert. This obviously 4-down territory for the Pride. Rain coming in now from right to left. As we had it coming from left to right earlier, we had it coming down straight. Again, this one was like Forrest Gump Vietnam rain that we've had here today. It's coming a little bit in every direction. The coach is getting everyone situated here. In time ticking away here on Gilbert in this third quarter. Meadows will roll out to the left with it. He gets into some space, being chased by Lovejoy, gets away from him, still on his feet and dragged to the ground at about the 11-yard line. Great run by Meadows in order to pick up another 1st down. Gilbert knocking on the door now as they wind the clock. Again, they've had the ball now for nearly 7 minutes. Here in this third quarter, Danville's yet to touch the football offensively. But Danville with a 24-0 lead, comfortably in front at the moment. Gilbert trying to apply a little pressure to them now. It's Meadows gives it off to Bryant. Runs into a huge pile there in the line of scrimmage. Kept churning, and he'll pick up close to 3 yards. So good run by Bryant that time. Again, nothing but big bodies all around him. Still was able to pick up about 3 yards total. So we're down to 19, 18, 17 as Gilbert is going to use up the entire third quarter on this drive, and they're knocking on the door now for the first time today, trying to get into the end zone. And we'll be back to see if they're able to get there right after this as you're watching Youth League football action right here on Video Productions. Start of quarter number 4 here from Scott High School in Danville, West Virginia, as Gilbert has the ball with 2nd and 7 inside the 10-yard line, trying to go in for their first score of the day, but there's a big stop by Danville's defense as Meadows tried to take it off tackle. Now the wind's starting to pick up here again. Like we said, we knew bad weather was going to be in the forecast all day today. It's kind of come and gone. It was really bad in the first quarter of the first game. It's been a light rain and even stopped momentarily here in the second game. But now it starts to pick up again. As we got towards halftime and into the fourth quarter. Gilbert trying to polish off this drive. They've had it for over 8 minutes and 45 seconds now. They're the only ones to possess the ball at all here in the second half as Meadows stumbled trying to get out from under center. May have got stepped on by his center that time, and he's going to go down for a loss in the backfield, and it'll bring up 4th down now. So this is the second longest drive we've seen in the playoffs so far. Again, Chapmanville had an 11.5-minute drive last night for their C team that ended in a touchdown. But now Gilbert faces 4th down. They can still get a first down at the 1-yard line. But it's going to be 4th and 11 overall for the Pride. Gilbert gets lined up now. As Meadows will keep it off the left side, has a little gap. Can he get there? No, he's tripped up and brought down at the last second by Jackson Osborne. Boy, that opened up for half a second. Looked like Meadows might be able to get there. But a great tackle by Osborne keeps Gilbert off the board here today with 6:09 to go in the fourth quarter. So a great drive by the Pride. Nearly 10 minutes elapsed off the clock, but unable to punch it in. And now Danville will take over with just over 6 minutes to play in the ball game. And they're just going to go to work on this clock as much as possible, I'd imagine. And Riker Belcher has a pair of touchdowns here today. He's been electric at quarterback for Danville all season long. As he runs into his running back Ratliff that time. Gilbert had some penetration but couldn't bring him down. Now they finally do, just past the line of scrimmage, where it'll be 2nd down. As we said, we've still got one more game coming your way this afternoon. At the conclusion of this game, we'll have the Danville and Gilbert A teams coming up in our final do-or-die day game of the day here from Scott High School. So stay with us here on Video Productions. And you look down at the cheerleaders for the Danville Hawks, and you know what? Brave girls and brave coach down there. You know, she's been down there cheering with them all afternoon long too, trying to brave it through this weather. They've done a great job. And now here comes Atkins into the clear. He's in a foot race, and he's starting to extend that lead as he gets across midfield. He gets to traverse all of Scott High School's football turf, and into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Dawson Atkins. Wow, what a run. 93 yards on the score. And it's now a 30-0 lead for Danville with a 2-point conversion to come. Again, they've converted all 3 of their 2-point conversions. And with that 30-point lead, that should start a winding clock here for the rest of the contest. Again, 30 points is the mercy rule in youth league football. So the game won't end at 30 points, but they will just keep the clock running. Again, in high school, if you've got a 35-point lead going into the fourth quarter or a 42-point lead in the third quarter, it's a running clock at that point. Now the official does signal to wind the clock as Danville lines up to go for two. They'll give it off on the inside, getting to the corner, pushing and getting in is looked like number 53 from where I was. Let's see if we can get the official number on this. Yeah, this is one of those you just want the kid to turn around so you can see who it was. 55. All right, Butch Mounts there on the call. Tucker Lambert. Thank you. Again, I thought I saw one number. I couldn't quite catch the other, but Tucker Lambert gets the 2-point conversion, and it's now a 32-0 lead. We'll be back right after this as you're watching Youth League football here on Video Productions. Gilbert now with the ball after the touchdown run by Dawson Atkins from 93 yards out. As it is a 32-0 lead for the Hawks, and that just shows how difficult this Hawks team is. Again, Gilbert went on a nearly 10-minute drive in the third quarter, all through the third quarter and into the fourth quarter. Could not get in, and then just 2 plays later, Danville goes the entire length of the field in order to more or less put the nails in the coffin in this contest. It's Gilbert, likely their final drive of the season here on the C-team side. Going to see if they can end it with a score possibly, but this ball comes out now, loose on the turf, and let's see who's got it. They say Danville has recovered it with 2:39 to play. And now the Hawks on the verge of a shutout here today. That is, unless they hurry up and score again, which is a big possibility the way they've ran the ball all day long. So now they'll wind the clock with 2.5 minutes to go. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Danville at the Gilbert 44-yard line. And Gilbert player came on to Danville's side. Looked like he was just trying to get to the sideline. I was worried for a second. I didn't know if something had happened between the players there in the huddle or not, but looked like he just wanted to go over to the sideline. That was the quickest route he saw. Keeper here on 1st down, heading down the left sideline, getting free inside the 10, the 5, and down to the 1-yard line. Nearly a touchdown again for the Hawks, but we've got flags down all the way back at about the 36-yard line. And looks like maybe a man down here for Danville near the end zone. As thankfully he's up now, as that was the ball carrier for Danville. Yeah, it looks like maybe he fell on the football. Again, Butch signaling that to me. I was wondering the same thing after he got up. Was trying to see the number. I'm not sure if that was Lovejoy on that carry or not. But yeah, if you're Danville now with 1:18, again, you just kind of want to get out of here without having an injury. Again, I know maybe you want to try and get another score on the board or get somebody else a touchdown, but that right there kind of scares you a little bit, because if you lose one of these big guys going into next week, I mean, you're talking about a semifinal class to try and get into the championship game. It's the last thing you want to do now. As Gilbert has all their timeouts, but really no reason to use them at this stage with under 1 minute to go. As Belcher will go under center, he'll hand it off. As Ratliff will come towards us, now cuts inside as he'll pick up a couple of yards. Down to 44 seconds left. So Ratliff had that 2-point conversion run earlier today too. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 8. We'll see if Danville elects to snap it again here or not. And it appears they're going to call today as they come in and defend their home turf here in this quarterfinal matchup. And what a dominant performance it was by the Danville Hawks. Never a doubt here today as they win at 32-0 to advance to the semifinals against Sherman next week. And what a matchup that's going to be between Luke Henderson and this trio of backs for the Danville Hawks. Well, we're going to step aside for a break, and when we come back, it'll be time for our final game of the afternoon as the A-teams set to do battle between Danville and Gilbert as you are watching Youth League football playoff action right here on Video Productions.